Yo, welcome back. Let us talk about hobbies this time.
Dwayne's really into his new hobby.
So, I was kind of talking about this a little bit in the ADHD and overspending video, but I thought it would be interesting to talk about all the hobbies I still remember from my life ever since I was a child, right? So, we start in childhood, and as early as I remember, what would be the first thing that I would consider in a hobby? I think it must have been Lego and Bionicle. Obviously, when you're like a child, you don't really think of stuff as hobbies. You're just playing, right? And I think society would agree that basically kids are playing. They don't necessarily have hobbies. But kind of like Lego and both Bionicle have been like my go-to thing for the longest time. And then at some point when I was around 6, consoles and gaming got introduced to me, so I like doing that a lot. And then we skip forward like a little bit. Around like the age of 8 to 9, I got introduced to a good friend of mine, and we were in the summer at least always like outside. We were doing like role plays together, like fighting with like wooden swords, wooden sticks, and playing all kinds of fantasy bullcrap. And that was obviously, you have to know that I was born in 1992. Yes, I'm old, okay? So by the time I was like 8, it was like the 2000s, and like all the iconic cartoons, sorry, manga and anime. Oh my god. I'm canceling myself for that statement. All the like iconic anime, like Dragon Ball, Pokemon, Digimon, all of that was on TV. So we all watched that and of course got inspired to play these things as well. So then like a little bit later, probably like school-ish territory, I started to draw, but like never really seriously. And when I first got my very first PC, there was this program called Flash MX. I think it might have been from Adobe. I'm not 100% sure. I think Flash was from Adobe. And I did like some bare bones animation stuff with that. We had a school class where we were working with that program as well. So I kind of really liked that one and I got really into that. And it kind of made me want to be a game designer at some point, but I never really went through that. I think we have to go like another few years in the future because like yes, I could say that gaming was a hobby and like different kinds of games, but I think it's not that interesting to talk about the different kinds of games. You see, a few years later, we arrive when I'm around 20-ish. That's probably the time I've discovered light novels and that I like reading a lot because as like a child, I never really wanted to read a lot, probably because school forced it on me. And when I did a lot of reading was really like in games, in JRPGs and stuff, but like never really. So then I discovered basically manga, I discovered light novels and everything like that. So I did that a lot. Around the same time, I got really, and I mean really, into baking. Okay. I was baking cakes, I was baking pastries, I was baking like Harvey stuff, like pizzas and stuff like that as well, making all of that stuff myself. And I really, really, really like to bake. The problem is when you bake stuff, someone has to eat it. So I couldn't do it that much. It's like for Easter and for Christmas, I would bake a lot and bring it to like family. But nowadays, that has already passed again, probably because like all dopamine was mined from that hobby already. So I'm not really baking anymore. Sorry to disappoint you. And I had hobby plants at some point. I bought so many plants, and they all died, by the way. They all died. I had so many plants. I bought all the necessary tools, all the necessary like ingredients they need to like vitamins for plants or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're called. And they all died, okay? They all died. Then I wanted to get back into drawing, like big time. So of course I was buying a lot of drawing materials, and that lasted for like a week, maybe two, because I realized it's just too much work. Like I know that everybody can learn how to draw and how to draw really good, but it was just never something where I wanted to put all the effort into it and do it. And around the time I was like 23, 24 was probably the first time I tried out content creation. I was streaming for a little bit. I was doing like a little, not ASMR videos. I was like doing a little YouTube videos, and I really liked the part of editing back in the day, and so I did that. Then started the time where I really wanted to get into miniatures. My problem with miniatures was like I didn't really just go out and buy some miniatures and then try to paint them. I went to Kickstarter where, oh my god, I went to Kickstarter, where I wanted to go and get miniatures from there. But if you know Kickstarter, you do know that it takes quite a long of time to get these items if they ever release. So I was backing a few sets with like minis, and I think to this day, it's many, many years later, they still have not released. Like they're still working on them. Oh my god. Like some of them have released, but it took like so long for them to arrive that I just sold them again. I made basically all the money back because people buy these Kickstarter things if they miss like the campaign or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Then I got into physical games collection, and I don't know if I will really call it a hobby. I mean, technically it is a hobby, but it's like you don't really do anything with that hobby except spend money. So I don't know if I qualify it as it's a hobby, like really. Okay, don't stop. Then what else was there? There was Lego, of course, my second Lego phase basically as an adult. There was Gunpla, that one was a big one, where I still have many of my Gunpla. I still need to build them. I was painting some of the Gunpla, that one was very fun. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any hobbies here. I think I got all the major ones. There was a time when I was highly considering going into like acting and stuff, like as a hobby, not like professionally, because I did when I was in my schooling to become a kindergarten teacher, we had like two separate classes you could choose to pick, and I did pick them for acting and doing like improvising theater. That one was very fun, and I think that one too nowadays still helped me to like be somewhat interesting on live streams. Do not say anything else, okay? No comments below. Calling this out. Do. No reaction. Yeah. Then I had my first big gacha gaming phase. That was probably in 2020, maybe 2021. I'm not quite sure when exactly. Oh my god, that one was bad. I didn't spend that much money in total, but I would play like a new gacha game every single week, and for every single game that I started, I would probably spend like 10 or 15 bucks. And again, that's like not that much money, right? But in total, I probably still spend a few $100. So, and for games that I'm only like played a week. So it's weird. It's weird. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm guessing now my hobby basically is content creation as well. I mean, I spent so much time doing it, it has to be a hobby. I'm hoping that it's going to be a job at some point, right? And of course, I have anime. I had anime with me ever since basically the 2000s when I watched all of the shows in the TV and stuff like that. Yeah, those are my hobbies. Which are yours? What is your hobby? Are there any hobbies you started like as a child and still do them nowadays? Are there any hobbies you don't do anymore and maybe you regret doing them? Oh my god, I forgot one of them. Oh my god, I don't remember how old I was. Probably 7 or 8. I started playing the guitar, and I was taking lessons as well. But then like I did that for like many, many years actually, for like 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. And then at some point like it wasn't interested to me at all anymore. I was not practicing anymore. And I did play quite a few concerts with the guitar. That were organized by like the school they're always doing, some even quite bigger ones. And yeah, that was nice, but like at some point like all the dopamine was out of there. I wouldn't want to do it anymore. My parents were like kind of upset that I wanted to stop, but I still stopped, of course. And like nowadays if you would ask me to like read notes or play anything, I couldn't. I 100% could not anymore. So yeah, what is your current hobby? And I will see you next time. Blah, blah.